live, Stubby. Hello, everyone. Time for Stubbins' teeth brushing and bath. Starting early today, so I am still in my pajamas, so don't mind that. But how awesome is this shirt also? Best cat mom ever. I don't remember who got this for me. Someone got this for me years ago. As you can see, I've worn it so much. It's so faded. I freaking love it. I have another one that says best cat and dog mom, which I really love because I am a dog mom as well. Well, I was going to try to show you Bailey, but then I'll mess up the camera and it'll probably all fall down. But Bailey's right over there looking at us. So, Stubby also still in his pajamas for the day. I put him in... I don't dress, someone asked me this just the other day, I don't dress him in sweaters in the warmer months, only in the winter, because he has a heat lamp in his house that he can lay under, so he stays plenty warm with the AC on in the summer. But in the winter, I just put him in, basically I just do one outfit a day, so every morning after I feed him, then I change him. Well, I usually, I'll take the sweater off, and I try to give him about an hour or two actually before I put the sweater back on, because then he just loves to lick all over himself. But then I put it back on for when he's roaming around the house. Hi, buddy. So this is his pajamas today, and he managed to get a foot out of the pajama. I just realized it was kind of funny. Hi, buddy. I'm sorry. You were so cute. These are so cute. I love these pajamas. From our friends at Dracula Meow. Message if you want the link. Alright, hang on, I'm just fixing your other foot. Alright, are you ready for toothbrushing, buddy? He's actually really, really good about his teeth brushing. If you haven't seen him before. Oh, isn't he just the cutest thing ever in the world? My little boy. Okay, so, first of all, most importantly, lickable cat treat. I use the Tiki Cat brand. I think this is one of my favorite brands. I have a blog, actually, I wrote a few years ago with my top recommended lickable cat treat brands, because there are several that I would not recommend feeding. Even though, you know, treats done well should never be more than 10% of your pet's overall diet, but even still, why would you want to give them anything with ingredients that aren't good for them ever, even if it's a small percent of their diet? And several of the lickable treats on the market are just not good. We're using our Renewed Pet brand toothpaste. This is the catnip flavor. We also have a cheese flavor. The cats do great with the catnip flavor, obviously, because as soon as they smell the catnip anywhere near their mouth, it can help give them that, you know, altered state, that little bit of relaxed state, because they have that receptor in their brain that reacts to the catnip. So dogs, of course, you can use the catnip. They're just not going to have the same response, but we make a cheese flavor as well. But you might find that your cat likes the cheese flavor very much and maybe does better with that. Interesting fact that up to 30% of cats do not respond to catnip at all, actually. So our catnip toy, you know, flakes that we sell is actually a mixture of catnip and silvervine, the plant. You know, catnip's a plant. The silvervine plant, because that's another plant that cats can have that same reaction to. And out of that 30% of cats that don't respond to catnip, up to 80% of them will respond to the silvervine. So it's a great product. It helps just help make sure that more cats get to have that fun, you know, experience of the catnip response. Anyway, toothpaste, like all of our products, 100% natural, nothing synthetic. That's why it's green, because we don't flavor it. And one of the ingredients is echinacea powder, which is a really good natural antimicrobial to fight bacteria in the mouth. And so we just leave it green. The pets don't care what color it is. They have no clue. Also, it's got a nice grit to it, so it helps easily clean the plaque off the teeth. Has calcium and magnesium to help remineralize the teeth when you're brushing. And then the herbals that are in it work as really good antimicrobials to help kill the bacteria to prevent gingivitis, periodontitis. It's just great. I mean, you can look at our website and look at all the 5-star reviews. We've had so many people show before and afters of how much just switching the brand of toothpaste to our toothpaste has helped their pet's dental care, which, as we all know, is super important and also extremely hard, especially in our cats. Very hard. So many cats. I think the latest stats are 85% of all cats have dental disease. So best rule of thumb, brush 3 times a week with a great quality toothpaste. We also carry a dental powder on our website that you can put into their water or right onto their food. And this is the only dental additive that I recommend because this one has actually been clinically studied. It was initially created for humans and went through clinical trials, and then they actually put it through clinical studies for pets, and it's just great. It has really great results. So our toothpaste, and we partner with the Ryer Cat brand toothbrush. It's R-Y-E-R. Yeah, R-Y-E-R cat, Ryer Cat. It's the only toothbrush on the market that I would recommend for cats. It's specifically made for cats. This isn't plastic either. They make it somehow out of like a cornstarch material, so that's awesome because I'm not a fan of anything plastic. All the microtoxins, and then of course it's better for the environment and, you know, better manufacturing. So it's got this little tip. It's not going into focus. This little tip here. How do I make it go into focus? And it's a charcoal infused tip, which our activated coconut charcoal is so good for an natural antimicrobial. Can help you just remove any food in between the teeth. And then the little end for brushing. And it's perfectly angled to suit your cat's mouth to make sure you can get up into the back areas of the mouth without hurting the bones in their mouth. Standard toothbrush, being straight, is not going to be able to get up in there without pushing against their jawbone and potentially causing them pain. So you could be causing your cat pain when you're brushing their teeth if you're not using the proper toothbrush. And of course, any other toothbrush on the market, the brush head is just way too big. Before we partnered with them, we did have a very, very small bamboo toothbrush that we would use. But even that, the brush head was probably close to 3 times larger than this. This is just the perfect size. Yeah, so let's get to brushing. I think that's enough talking for Wednesday morning. Well, come on. For some reason the toothpaste isn't coming out. Aye, and then I squeeze hard and it all goes. I had the cap off of it for a little while, like prepping for the video, so I don't know. That like crusted up a little bit. All right, so I put about that much on. Put that much on, and I do one whole side of the mouth, and then I put more on to do the other side of the mouth because, you know, they just lick it off so fast. And I just have a blanket to wrap him up in here. I know. But he's such a good boy. He's not super wiggly with grooming. Yeah, hi. I love you. Yeah, my little E.T. My little black E.T. All right. Ready for brushings, buddy? All right, so what I do is I try to I'm doing this. I'm trying to grab his cheek, pull his cheek out a little bit so I can get into the back molars. And then I just go back in there. Don't push hard, but get the brush into the back the best you can. It's definitely the hardest area to brush on your cat. But you gotta pull that cheek out and get the brush back in there. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to do really small circles. Here's the motion you're trying to do. Circles and back and forth. Circles and back and forth. That's the best way to brush the teeth. That is why for humans or even dogs, it's best to use an electric toothbrush. Because because the electric toothbrush is able to do that motion for you really well. That's a little bit hard for our human hand dexterity to do, but yeah, I'm trying to do little circles and kind of back and forth all at once. Good job, buddy. Such a good boy. His teeth look great. His gums look great. What you want to see is nice pink, light pink. You don't want pale. White is not a good thing. That's a very bad sign. That's something medically is very wrong. But if it's deep pink or red or bleeding, of course, that is signs of gingivitis. But stubbies, can you see? Just nice light pink, and you can push on it. No blood, no inflammation. Let's see, he's only needed one dental cleaning in his whole life so far, when he was around the age of 4. And he's now 10, and he has not needed another cleaning. That said, everything looks great. He has all of his teeth. You know, I do not remember off the top of my head how many teeth a cat has in their mouth. Is it 28, I think? That's what my brain's telling me, but I'm not sure. All right, this one's a little harder because of my dexterity, but try to use my left hand and pull his cheek back a little. There we go. Good boy. You do such a good job. Yeah, you do such a good job. You know, and in general, they're going to get better and better at their grooming the more you do it and get them used to it. So, as you can see, he's been getting his teeth brushed since he was young, so he's just pretty chill about it. Oh, sorry, my hair keeps, like, itching me. Okay. So there we go. I did the left and right side, front and back. Now I'm going to add a little more toothpaste, and I'm going to, the best I can, try to do inside of the teeth, but this typically does not go very well. They really hate this, so basically I'm just trying to put it in the occlusion, you know, on the top or bottom of his teeth, and then just letting him bite on the bristles, and that's the best we can do. He's going to get a little bit of brushing on the inside by biting on the bristles. And he hates it. All cats are going to hate that part really, really bad, so, you know, just do it for a few seconds. Don't drive them crazy, but I basically try to just get him to bite down on it around each tooth on the inside, and that's it. That's the best we can do. So really, you mostly only get kind of the front side brushed. And then, of course, you can't floss them either. So there's, you know, some things left undone with brushing. That's why typically they do need a professional dental cleaning every once in a while. But because I feed him a raw food diet, including the bone, which is the best diet possible for a cat or dog's oral health, is raw food diet with bone. When they're crunching on the pieces of bone, that actually naturally helps to clean the teeth, helps to remove the plaque and the bacteria and scrape the plaque off the teeth. So he's been eating that diet for years and years and years, and then I'm using our high quality toothpaste, doing it regularly, and that's it. And he does great. So, okay, teeth are done. Let's give him a little treat. Some of your licky buddy. Good job. Josh, my good boy. He's such a good boy. Okay, now he's gonna hate life because now we're gonna go to the bath. He definitely does better with teeth brushing than bath, but he's pretty good with the bath. Alright, so I already have it all set up. Just have to get the camera set up. Let's see how this is gonna work. I think I need to flip the camera around. upside down, so let me fix this. I need a stage hand. Now this is high quality production over here. Need some help. All right, there we go. Find a button. No, Siri, I wasn't trying to fucking talk to you. Good gracious. Okay. Hopefully you guys can see pretty well. That's the best I can do. Okay, buddy. I'm sorry. Where are you? All right, let's get your pajamas off. He's like, oh no, I'm in the bathtub. All right, so we use for him the cup and bowl technique. This is warm water, just warm, clean water that I put in this bowl. I put it a little extra hot so it'd still be warm by the time we got done his teeth, which is nice and warm, so I'm happy for that. And then I have a separate cup filled up also just clean water. So first I just take my gloved hand and I wet him down. We include a pair of these gloves for free with every single purchase of our shampoo. So if you get our shampoo, you'll get the gloves. Otherwise, you know, you can find them at pharmacies. Any pharmacy typically, or of course online. Some are better quality than others. These ones are really good. I like how they're durable, but they're pretty soft. You don't want something that's, you don't want a pair that's like super scratchy. Too high exfoliation. Won't be good for their skin and they won't like it. But also, I feel like some of them might be a little too soft, so. Okay, we think these ones are a good balance between the two. All right, so he's all wet. Hang on, buddy. Wet my hand again and add the shampoo. Okay. Oh goodness, I forgot his ear cap. Okay. Add your cap. This is to make sure I don't get water and soap in his ears. Mostly soap is the problem. Soap, of course, is going to alter the... So if you did not know, I'm sure everybody knows now that in 2026 that your GI tract has a whole set of natural flora. That's why, you know, we're recommended to take probiotics to keep everything in balance. Well, the ears, actually, the ear canal, actually has its own set of natural microflora. And so if you get soap in the ears during bathing, there is a risk that it can throw off the microflora and cause a problem and cause an ear infection. So our company, well, we don't make, but we work with a fantastic company who they make these waterproof pet shower caps for us. And of course they're, you know, just easy to wash and reuse time and time again. So one-time investment, and make sure you don't give your cat or dog ear infections from bathtub. So, we are always about the preventative. Alright, so I'm just scrubbing them real good. I make sure I get in here in these little feet. I get into the paw pads and in between each of the toes really good. You definitely want to do that because that's a huge area where they commonly will build up yeast and get little yeast infections on their feet. And our shampoos are formulated to help naturally, you know, they don't have antibiotics in them, but naturally the herbal properties are natural antimicrobials, so it can help reduce any yeast or bacteria anywhere on their feet or anywhere on their skin. Stubbin, we use our restorative formula shampoo that is essentially our version of a medicated shampoo. So it's basically a natural medicated shampoo that really helps with yeast and bacteria because Stubborn has chronic skin allergies, so his skin gets kind of yeasty. And he gets a little rash from time to time. Everybody always asks me how frequently to bathe their cat. And my answer is you have to figure out what is best for your cat or your dog. A lot of people with hairless dogs also follow us. Yeah, every single pet is different and they have different skin needs. Stubborn, I've learned through the years, he needs his bath every 2 weeks. Honestly, he probably could benefit from it every week, but I don't want to stress him out. So his skin is not perfect by day 8 or 9, but it's good enough. And it doesn't start to be problematic until about really honestly, about day 14. Every time I've, you know, gotten life crazy and gotten out of schedule, I swear it's not much longer than day 14 and he starts getting like little rash and little plaques on his skin. So that's just the schedule I've found that works best. If he loved his baths and did better with it, I probably would do it once a week. Would be great for his skin. But, you know, so you gotta figure out what's very, very best for your pet's skin. You know, do they need a bath every week? Or only once every few weeks, once a month, whatever. But then also you got to take that into consideration. How much do they hate bath time? How much does it stress them out? How old are they? You know, like you don't want to be massively stressing out your 15-year-old cat. You know, so maybe as they get older, you just let their skin be a little more funky and wait a little longer. You know, so I can't answer that question or I guess I did just answer the question, but it's not a simple answer. So you gotta figure out what's best for your cat and for them at this stage of their life. All right, we are done. He's all rinsed. I'm gonna let him jump into the towel. I caught you. Good boy. Oh, he's such a good boy. All right, let's get the people. There we go. Thank you guys for watching Stubborn's Wednesday morning grooming. I liked this actually. Usually I feel like, oh, I'll wait till later this day after I'm like dressed, maybe have some makeup on. But I'm like, you know what? I just need to get it done right away in the morning because my energy is a little better. And it just felt fun. I feel like more people would be watching also this time of day, so there we go. He's a good boy. All right, now I'm gonna go get his licky treat, give him some more treat, and then just let him chill in his heat house. Here's his awesome heat house. If you want a link to the most amazing cat house, just send me a message. If you want a link to anything, any of our products, toothpaste, shower cap, toothbrush, send us a message. Shampoos. Have a good Wednesday. Bye.